I'm Rosa Mendez, and I'm here at the #1 Long Island broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh. I had the best time ever!
Hey, listen, Daddy, you're listening to the #1 broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh, Daddy, in Long Island. The best pro wrestling broadcast of all time, I think.
Jimmy, I got to tell you, man, it feels good to be back on YouTube. It was quite disappointing what happened to us, but we bounced back fairly quickly.
Well, what else would we do? We're almost at 5,000 subscribers.
Well, speaking of that, man, we need more members.
Okay.
What do you think we need to do to get the people of those 5,000 subscribers to come on and join the team as a Monty and the Pharaoh member?
Nudity is out of the question. Any other ideas?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I do have a few ideas.
Well, just like Prel, they should tell 2 friends, and they could tell 2 friends, and so on and so on. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Check out all our content.
But that's, you know what? That's why you're the star of the show, because guess what? Members get special content. Even we spoke about it. Pharaoh came to me one day and he goes, man, what's the deal? I can't even watch some of these videos because I'm not a member. And I said, there you go, Pharaoh. You got to be a member because this is what the members get. They get free content that none of the other fans that watch this show get.
That's right.
You get free autographs from some of these wonderful stars that come in, right?
Nice.
All you do is you go to the MNP webpage, or right, our own page, and shoot us an email and say, hey, man, I want a picture of Tommy Rich. I want a picture of whatever. And boy, that's on its way.
We give them their choice.
That's right.
We rock.
We do rock.
And you need to rock too. Join.
Yeah, he leapfrogged everybody pretty much in my mind.
He has.
He has.
Him and Backlund, back to back.
It blows my mind too. It really does. All right, Ronnie, let's go for a very hot topic right now. We got Ric Flair deciding at the age of 73 that he's going to get back in the ring. He's even confirmed recently that he's got an injury from his training and he's sore as shit. That's his words. What do you think about Ric Flair giving this a shot at 73?
Well, I wouldn't do it if it was me, because I want to leave the impression in when I quit. That's what's in your mind. That's because if you step in the ring in the 70s, your body doesn't look very good. I don't care who you are. I hate to say that, but if you're not embarrassed, it's a choice. I wouldn't do it personally. And plus you can get hurt. I mean, you get a certain age. I'm 77 years old. I don't want to break a leg. I don't want to break an ankle. I've seen it happen when Lutez went over to Japan, and he was just doing a demonstration of holds with Inoki, and his hip popped out. Because your bones are a whole lot more fragile at 70-some years old, and it's easy to get hurt.
Let me ask you, that's a really good that you're bringing that up. You're a young guy back then, when these older guys wouldn't hang it up. What was going through Ronnie Garvin's head?
Well, either they need the money, maybe, or they need the attention. I don't really know. I have no reason to want to do that.
Did you ever get put in a predicament where you had to wrestle an older guy and have to carry the match? And how was that, if that did happen?
No, I never did. I can say I never. The oldest guy I wrestled might have been Ox Baker.
Ox Baker?
Yeah. But he was still, maybe not in the greatest shape, but he was no push around, And I remember I broke all his teeth, his false teeth.
Oh.
I dropped a knee drop on his throat, and his false teeth popped out of his mouth, and I stomped him in the ring, and I took all the teeth.
Did he get pissed off?
No,
he had gum afterwards.
I can't eat a steak. I can't. And then, I saw him before he died about a month or two at some signing that I can't remember where it was exactly. And I liked the guy. He was a character.
Yeah.
He saw me from across the room, and I heard him like he was 3 feet in front of me. And he called me the buzzsaw. He would holler. He called me a buzzsaw because I used to like to stomp his toes.
Ronnie, I had a friend, or we had a friend who passed away at a very young age. He was a huge NWA guy, and you were one of his all-time favorites. And the question I have for you is, you get the title from Flair, and your push get up to that point was huge. The fans were behind you, everything else. Why do you think it didn't work out to the expectations that we all thought it was going to be?
Well, that was by design. You know, a booker has a lot to do.
Of course.
And there was some envious people. You know, I've seen it many times with other guys. You know, you get over too big, you're a threat. You know, it doesn't become anymore what how much money you're drawing is. You know, and the booker, you know, did his best to. I never got booked. I never had a title match after I won the title till I wrestled Ric Flair on the second time. You know, why? You know, I didn't really care at that point, you know, in my career, because I was ready to retire anyway. You know, I was 45 years old. You know, I was in good shape. I wasn't retiring because I had any problem. I was very healthy. But there comes a time you got to call it, you know. And when that happened, I even pushed it faster because I quit after that. I quit the promotion, you know. And the booker, well, y'all know who the booker was, you know. He was hired by Crockett, and he didn't like the idea of somebody being more over than he was. See, I always was against a wrestler being a booker, you know, because they pushed their own self.
So you're drawing money, but it didn't matter. They just wanted.
Well, it didn't matter to him, to his boss maybe, but his boss was mesmerized with him, you know. Was really. He bought him a brand new Mercedes. What's up? His business. But I'm saying, you know, he was controlling a lot of things. And that same guy, the booker, the Rock and Roll Express were so over, they were like rock stars. Well, he couldn't handle it either. He would book him in some small towns, you know, and those guys would sell out. The little town had never had a crowd like that at wrestling matches because they were over like rock stars. And then what he did is he booked himself in 6-man tag teams so they could rub off on him. So he was in a 6-man tags with them. You know, I'm not stupid. I've been around a long time, you know, and I could see all of that.
But you don't seem like a guy that would stand for that. Did you approach him at any point and be like, "What's your deal, dude?"
I never wanted to let him know. I didn't need the promotion. I didn't need them. I could quit working probably 5 years before. You know, I didn't care. I'm not going to play that game. You know, I'm not going to play that game.
Then why do you put the title on you?
Because I think it was the owner. You know, they wanted it. You know, but in a way, he didn't control much of anything. You know, because I don't know. I didn't really care. And I enjoyed the ride. It was short, but.
Did you ever discuss things with Flair when this was all happening?
Yeah, Flair was okay with it. But the thing was, I never seeing the standard in the business was when you lose the title, it's automatically a return.
Right.
Automatically.
Yeah.
It was since the day I got into wrestling. Never had one. Never defended the title. Never had, you know. So, you know, it's bad business. You know, that's why I said a wrestler that's involved in the wrestling, if he's active, he should not be in the booking. You're in a fight. Don't drag it on.
You mentioned Jim Crockett. We lost him recently.
Yeah.
Can you share your feelings on Jim Crockett Jr.?
Jim was a good guy, but he was, you know, I think he was a little bit gullible when it come to Dusty controlling everything. And Flair, you know, they were ready to take advantage of him, I think. They convinced him to buy jets, airplane, you know, and all the things that we're doing and promoting, you know. But Jimmy even bought Dusty a brand new Mercedes, sports one, you know, the he was mesmerized with him. And, the guy was booking cards with 30, 40 guys on it. I mean, come on. It's not quantity of matches, it's the quality of the matches. And he had all these chain match, cowbell match. I mean, geez. And I knew a guy that worked, his name was Sandy Scott. He was the guy in charge bringing the money back and taking care of the, show at the building, make sure everything was going okay. And he told me, he's a good friend of mine. And he says, I saw it coming. He said, I'm seeing it coming. We bring home $90,000. We lost $30,000. Don't make no sense, Yeah.
Did he try to talk sense into Crockett and say, hey, look, you're mismanaging the way this is set up?
Well, they expanded too fast. And when you move up in this direction up here, things are much more expensive than it was in the Carolinas, or South Carolina, or Virginia. Like they say, hey, you put a ring up for $300 in North Carolina, and it costs you $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 here just to put up a ring because it's unions and it's big expense,
So, it's funny you say that. So if you watch these wrestling documentaries, right,
Yeah.
and they have Rhodes on there or Flair, they're like, if Crockett just would have stayed in the Carolinas, it would have been fine. But you're saying they're part of the reason this all happened.
Yes. Well, and that's why Dusty wound up wrestling up here with polka dots. Because he used to knock Vince on every interview we did in NWA.
Sure.
He always put a dig. And Vince is a genius.
Right.
He put polka dots on him.
And then and there's a
And
bodyguard
that's why-
named Virgil. Big bang! Don't screw with me, Dusty.
I picked up on it so fast. I said, "My God," because I didn't know Vince.
Right.
I just never talked to him for long periods of time. It was just small talks. And I said, "What a genius!" Instead of the old promoters, the NWA promoters would have told him to go screw himself. Vince, no. He made money with him, and Dusty made money. But Vince made money.
But then he ruined his career so he could go nowhere else because he was the one wearing polka dots.
Go from the American dream to a polka dot man.
With Sapphire.
I'm Rosa Mendez, and I'm here at the #1 Long Island broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh. I had the best time ever!
Hey, listen, Daddy, you're listening to the #1 broadcast, Monty and Pharaoh, Daddy, in Long Island. The best pro wrestling broadcast of all time, I think.
Jimmy, I got to tell you, man, it feels good to be back on YouTube. It was quite disappointing what happened to us, but we bounced back fairly quickly.
Well, what else would we do? We're almost at 5,000 subscribers.
Well, speaking of that, man, we need more members.
Okay.
What do you think we need to do to get the people of those 5,000 subscribers to come on and join the team as a Monty and the Pharaoh member?
Nudity is out of the question. Any other ideas?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But what I do have a few ideas.
Well, just like Prel, they should tell two friends, and they could tell two friends, and so on and so on. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Check out all our content.
But that's, you know what? That's why you're the star of the show, because guess what? Members get special content. Even we spoke about it. Pharaoh came to me one day and he goes, man, what's the deal? I can't even watch some of these videos because I'm not a member. And I said, there you go, Pharaoh. You got to be a member because this is what the members get. They get free content
Nice.
that none of the other fans that watch this show get.
That's right.
You get free autographs from some of these wonderful stars that come in, right?
Nice.
All you do is you go to the MNP webpage, or right, our own page, and shoot us an email and say, hey, man, I want a picture of Tommy Rich. I want a picture of whatever. And boy, that's on its way.
We give them their choice.
That's right.
We rock.
We do rock.
And you need to rock too. Join.
Now, you see, you've been on the card Thursday, Friday. Everyone who's on the card is off. Not Enzo, because you farted. Now you're in beginner class again. So I got class at 7 a.m. every fucking day, no matter if I got home at 2 a.m. the night before, and I got to set up the ring with the guys and shit. So I'm getting punished for that. And one day, Dusty just calls me into his office. And, like, I just went in there, and he didn't say a fucking word. And he just went about his day. And he just got me out of the ring because he saw me get my ass kicked. You know what I'm saying? And he just, Like, they don't need to treat him like that. This is my heat with him.
Right.
Sit the fuck down.
Right.
So then Dustin came in the office that day, and I was just sitting there, bro, quiet. Like, what? Why am I here? Like, am I gonna? And then Dusty would call me in periodically for the next like couple months, and just get me out of that shit class that I was in, and just go about his day. And what I didn't realize was like he's taking phone calls with you in the room, Enzo. Like, you're learning. And with a twinkle in his eye and just a wink of his eye, I knew I was all right. We didn't have to talk. I didn't apologize, and just it was a wink.
Good stuff.
But I came to find out on the day that Dusty Rhodes passed away, 3 years later, 2020, I believe, on the very day that he passed away, I didn't realize it was the day he passed away. I wake up that morning and I open up my Instagram, and just the first thing on my feed is a story about fucking the Nasty Boys were overseas, farted on an airplane so bad, blew it out. Miss Elizabeth landed, caught a flight, and flew home. She was so offended by the Nasty Boys. They missed that tour because Vince McMahon, the biggest draw in the company was Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man. He was so mad at the Nasty Boys, he took them off that tour and flew Miss Elizabeth back to Europe to finish that tour out. What I didn't realize is that, dude, Dusty knew that. We don't fuck with farts here in the WWE, bro. Vince McMahon will fire you for that fart. I don't need to tell you that, but he shit can't. And I found that out on the day he died, like 4 years later.
Wow.
And like just the first thing I did, I woke up that day, boom, see this fart story, and I'm like, yo, what? Yo, that's crazy. The Nasty Boys got major fart heat, got shit canned by the WWE, got fired for it. Oh, wow. Today's the day Dusty died? Oh, my God. Dusty just told me why I had heat. I was like, I'm a spiritual guy, God-fearing, and I believe that, I hope Dusty sees my struggle, my up, my down, and every wrestler goes through it, bro. I'm fucking no different, dude. Like, you leave the WWE, what do you do from there? It's not all roses, and there's also that it's the WWE. Do I want to go back tomorrow? It's like, bro, like, man, I know what it takes to be there, and it takes a lot. So, that's a conversation I'd probably have to have with my family, bro. Like my mom, my dad, and my goddaughter. Like, if I ever did it for anybody, it would be my goddaughter. I'd take myself out of it, bro. I did it already. Like, I don't need to do that shit again. I did WrestleMania. I broke my ass. I got beat up, and it was all for that. And I won titles, and I had a fight in Madison Square Garden. And, bro, bucket list check.
Your mic skills are there already, man. You're just like that.
Well, it's Dusty Rhodes,
Really?
I cried in that room to him. I was terrible at my promos. And he took me under his wing, and he's like literally worked with me for hours and at once a week. And I was crying on the mic, and I was like, he's like, you can do this, honey, and I'm like, he really saved my career. Yeah.
How did his death affect you?
Really hard, because he was like a father figure. So he really always believed in me. He always saw my passion. And, I wasn't the most athletic wrestlers, but he saw that I love the business more than anything. And so he worked with me, and he spent time working with me and helping me. So that was really hard. It was hard on a lot of us, because he was like a father figure to a lot of us.
Seemed like he took care of all you guys.
Yeah.
Growing it.
Whoever had passion, he was there. He saw it,
So you're in.
It's to me like Dusty Rhodes was much worse when it came to selling to himself and protecting himself and not putting other people over. In my opinion, that takes money out of those people's pockets. So who's worse, Hulk Hogan, who gets all the hate, or Dusty Rhodes, who's beloved and seems to sound like a real,
see,
sorry, Dusty, he's not with us anymore, but I wonder.
Listen to me, bud.
Sure, fire away.
To me, Dusty Rhodes was the greatest mind ever in this business, and I'm telling you.
Okay.
Now, when you're a booker, you have things that you want to do in your head. And then you look around at your talent, and you're thinking, who can do this exactly the way he wanted it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was good about us, and Dusty told me this several times, when Dusty explained something to us, we didn't have to say, huh. Do what? Understanding the angle, and that's what makes a good work. See, a good worker in our business can work with anybody. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And is to tell that story the way he's got it in his mind, and that's what sells out. And don't get me wrong, Dusty, yeah, he pushed himself, but that son of a bitch was over, buddy.
Of course.
And it's not about that. When you're a booker or a territory, if you don't bring the territory up where it makes money, well, you're going to lose your damn job.
Right.
And then you're going to lose your reputation for being a booker. Dusty was good.
Sure.
And don't get me wrong.
Sure.
You know, Dusty had his things, but Dusty had a reason to do that. Don't get me wrong. I didn't go eat at Dusty's house supper every night. You understand me? But
Yes.
I knew business.
Right.
You know, when he was in Florida, yeah, he pushed himself because he knew what he wanted, and I guarantee you the shows sold out every week.
Sure.
So if I wanted just to make this guy right here do this, I promise you, he's not going to do it the way that you're thinking, that knows how to sell that building out.